HD. ZNS Network presents The Bahamas Tonight. This portion of the news brought to you by BTC Every Day.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Kendino Knowles, and welcome to the weekend edition of The Bahamas Tonight. Well, just a day after authorities here in New Providence began its probe into the death of a man who was found dead in his home with multiple stab wounds, police in Grand Bahama started the weekend searching for the person or persons responsible for the death of a man there who suffered a similar fate. Grand Bahama authorities confirmed the incident reportedly happened shortly after 10 o'clock last night when a Caucasian male was found dead at his residence in Lucaya. Assistant Police Commissioner responsible for Grand Bahama and the Northern Bahamas, Emerick Seymour, confirmed to our news team that the victim was discovered by police bound with duct tape with multiple stab wounds about the body. Grand Bahama Police continue to aggressively investigate this matter, but they're appealing to the general public for any information that could assist in solving this case. If you have any information, you are asked to contact police at 911-919 or the nearest police station. Well, Grand Bahama Police are also busy this weekend investigating that island's first traffic fatality for the year. Authorities confirmed that the incident happened around 4 o'clock this morning when a 25-year-old man driving a silver 2002 Honda Civic west on Sunrise Highway reportedly lost control of his vehicle and crashed into a tree on the median. The vehicle received extensive damage and the driver succumbed to his injuries. He was pronounced dead at the scene. Additionally, Grand Bahama Police are probing another traffic accident that happened shortly after 8 o'clock last night. Traffic police say they learned that a man was driving a white Chevy Venture van north on West Atlantic Drive when he reportedly struck a 59-year-old male pedestrian who was walking east on that thoroughfare. Police say the pedestrian is listed in serious condition tonight at the Rand Memorial Hospital. Investigations continue into both incidents, but police are appealing to all motorists to drive with due care and attention. Police are also appealing to pedestrians to adhere to the rules of the road. Well, Assistant Commissioner of Police Emerick Seymour is also thanking those Abaco residents who supplied information to police on that double murder last week. Detectives discovered the bodies of 2 men riddled with bullets in Abaco 1 week ago today. Seymour confirmed that several people have been taken into custody for questioning, and officers hope to resolve the matter real soon. And back here in the capital, detectives continue their investigations into that murder off Market Street yesterday. Police were called to Market and Fleming Street early Friday morning to investigate the stabbing death of a 53-year-old man. Detectives told reporters on the scene that the victim's relatives had not seen him for several days. That's when they forced themselves into his home and found the man identified by relatives as Ricardo Johnson dead. Police are once again appealing for any information from the public that might help them solve this case. You're asked to call 911-919 or the nearest police station if you have any information. Well, fraudulent credit card cases are becoming increasingly popular here. In fact, officers of the Business and Technology Crime Section say they've seen cases of fake credit cards that contain stolen information that's loaded through a mag stripe reader writer. It's the device used for embedding data on the magnetic strip on the back of authentic credit cards. Assistant Police Superintendent Matthew Edgecombe said yesterday that while people steal identities and create fake cards to make fraudulent purchases, there are ways that consumers can safeguard themselves.
Every time you use your credit card, keep an eye on your credit card every time you use it and make sure you insist to get it back as quickly as possible from the person who you give it to process it. Be careful to whom you give your credit card to. Don't give out your account number over the phone unless you initiate the call and you know the company is reputable. When making purchases, insist on swiping your credit card through the merchant credit card machine yourself, if possible. Then handing it off to somebody and they go in the back, take 10 minutes, come back, and they give you back your credit card. That's an opportunity for them to do, or for them to compromise your credit card.
Inspector Deborah Thompson is discouraging a popular practice, and that's making over-the-counter purchases using only your credit card numbers in the absence of the physical card.
And I want to implore the business community, if anyone calling, let's say from the Family Island, and they want to make a purchase using a credit card, you want to obtain a copy of the credit card and obtain a copy of at least 2 valid identification, so that if those charges are being disputed, you have some leg to stand on.
Well, financial crime is rarely heard about in the Bahamas because the country and its domestic capital has been closely monitoring the issue. That's according to Minister of Financial Services, the Honorable Ryan Pinder, who says falling behind as gatekeepers can be detrimental to the industry. He believes the Bahamas has strengthened its capacity in preventative measures of financial crimes, starting with legislation to address money laundering within the last 2 decades. With financial crime being an ever-evolving area and as technology develops, you hear more about electronic financial crimes as people are getting more creative. In this regard, Minister Pinder says the country must ensure that the capacity it and the Bahamas Association of Compliance Officers has developed stays at the forefront, noting that the association has become one of the most vigorous industry groups in the region.
If you start to neglect the continual training or neglect the evolution of criminal activity in the financial markets, you then leave yourself as a jurisdiction vulnerable. And we see all it takes is one significant event of financial crime to a jurisdiction, and it's extremely damaging to the industry. We saw examples just last year, for instance, in the Cayman Islands, where HSBC Mexican branch that was licensed in the Cayman Islands had significant violations of money laundering. Well, then now you look, HSBC is no longer in the region.
Now, Minister Pinder noted that in addition to the launch of the Certified Financial Crime Specialist program this week, there have been several other initiatives to develop human capital in the sector.
I had the privilege to be a lecturer, my first time I've ever lectured, with the Bahamas Institute of Financial Services on their tax certification course, something that we launched publicly maybe 6 or 8 weeks ago. Saturday was the first course offering. It's a 12-week program that's internationally accredited on tax certification. Corporate finance, which is another curriculum that we have launched, understanding capital equity markets and corporate finance. That program starts this Saturday.
Well, still to come in the weekend edition, the Deputy Prime Minister visiting the island of Exuma this weekend. We'll tell you about his trip to the new hospital there right after this break.